What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another Ticker Fee video and welcome to the Ticker Fee family. As you can see, the ticker symbol we're going to be talking about today is BNGO or Bionano. And so just like I was saying earlier this week, we're going to talk about the 2021 financial results. So specifically, it's going to be the key business highlights, the financial highlights, and then the upcoming 2021 milestones, which I think are going to be Q3 and Q4 catalysts that's going to help us on our stocks in the future. And then we're going to finish this video off with a chart analysis and price prediction. Guys, thank you so much for the support. We are so close to 1,000. I can't believe it. It's been an awesome journey so far. And if you're here for the first time, welcome. I really do appreciate it. And let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so Bionano Genomics reports first quarter 2021 financial results and highlights recent business progress, which I actually highlighted as well on this article. So 179% year-over-year revenue increases. We're just going to get straight to it. 179% driven by record sales of consumable and growth in the Sapphire installed base. So again, we're going to be talking about the 2021 milestones on track. We're going to be talking about the key business highlights and what's going to be upcoming. So strong balance sheet with $362 million cash as of March 31st, 2021. Now that's awesome. That gives us some cushion, a little bit of a safety net. So I'm all about that. So again, something I really do appreciate, and I'm glad they're being so transparent. And as you'll see throughout this article, you'll see exactly how transparent they are. So this is what they had to say. 2021 is off to a solid start for Bionano. Now, in the first quarter, they sold a record number of flow cells, analyzed a record number of samples in our service lab, drove broad adoption of Sapphire instruments, and ramped up the installation of Sapphire systems that weren't yet operational because of 2020 travel restrictions, which makes sense. You're going to hear that a lot with a lot of companies based off their highlights in their first quarter 2020 financial results. So let's get to the key business highlights. There's a few things that I wanted to highlight that I thought was important. So first, they featured the distinguished speakers from around the globe described how OGM could be applied to the clinical research and discovery research in prenatal and postnatal genetic diseases, as well as what happened before. So that's going to be the genome pandemic research. Now, also, they expanded in new geographic markets, including South Africa, Greece, Russia, South Korea, and important clinical sites in the United Kingdom and Germany, which remember we talked about a few weeks ago how King's College Hospital in London and the NHS Regional Genetics Laboratory in Belfast adopted the Sapphire systems, which was a pretty big deal, and we were able to see a spike on the charts due to that. Now, they increased the speed of their compute-on-demand cloud computing solution by 30% and reduced the cost to the end user by 50%, which again, another indicator of something that we want to know, because if they're reducing by 30% and then reduce the cost as well for the end user by 50%, more people are likely not only going to order one, but order multiples. So again, something that we want to know, and that's going to not only bring more individuals, but it's also going to bring large companies, and then they're going to buy a larger amount of these sapphires. So it strengthened the balance sheet by raising approximately $337 million from 2 underwritten public offerings of shares of its common stock. Now, the utilization of this $40 million ATM facility and the exercise of outstanding warrants, enabling the company to advance the business without near-term capital constraints. Now, so let's get straight to financial highlights. Total revenue was $3.2 million for the 3 months ended March 31st, 2021. Now, this is up 179% from $1.1 million in the same period of 2020, which is unbelievable. So, revenue increased in all regions. The increase in product sales was driven by increased demand over Regent rental program and consumables. So then when it comes to the gross margin for the first quarter of 2021, it's up 33%, up 8% from 25% in the same period in 2020. Then you've got operating expense. Now the first quarter of 2021 was $12.2 million, an increase of approximately $2.2 million compared to the $10 for the same period in 2020. Now, The change is primarily due to the increased headcount and material and supply expense, offset by $1 million decrease in bad debt expense. So now, March 31st, 2021, the company had cash, which we've talked about, and the cash equivalents of $362 million compared to cash and cash equivalents of $38.4 million at December 31st, 2020. So hopefully you like these statistics and these numbers. I do. So these are some of the things that I've highlighted. Now, the increase in cash is due to the equity raises that were completed January 2021. So here are going to be the last part of this article, and then we'll get to the chart analysis and price prediction. Now, they had a gain on debt extinguishment of $1.8 million was recognized during the 3 months ended March 31st, 2020 due to the forgiveness in full of their PPP loan included all accrued interest, which is something you want to think about. And again, you can see this is what I'm talking about how transparent they're being with us. Now, here's what I think is going to be the most important part of this article. The upcoming milestones for 2021. Now, these are the initiatives to drive their global adoption of Sapphire. So for Q2, accreditation of Sapphire-based LDTs for all FSHD in certain EU markets. Q3, you've got commercial release of prenatal assays and expansion of the menu of pediatric assays. Now with Q4, this is going to be at the end of the year, and this is why I've been saying this for so many of the stocks that I've been talking about. Q3, Q4, Q3, Q4. You're going to hear it over and over because I think there's going to be a switch from what the current market looks like and what it's going to look like towards the end of the year. So with Q4, you've got interim publication of results from pediatric clinical study. Again, Q4 2021, validation of the LDTs by 3 sites in both their prenatal clinical study and their pediatric clinical study, as well as the initial prototype of the next generation high throughput Sapphire. So that's going to be interesting. Next generation. So clearly they're always working on the technology just like anything else, which is great. So if it's more efficient, that's going to provide more services and more opportunities for us. Then last is going to be reach installed base of 150 systems to achieve a 50% increase over year in 2020. Again, great goals, great accomplishments. I like it that it's not too far out. It's still considered short term to me, and it's something that we can understand and be able to see here soon. So these are great catalysts you got from Q2 to Q3 all the way to Q4. So that's great. So now let's check out the charts. So for Bionano, if you own this stock, if you're thinking about buying it, whatever the case is, leave a comment down below. I'm always curious. Again, I always enjoy the comments. Regardless of what the situation is, just leave a comment down below if you own it or if you sold off or whatever the case is. You know, I really do enjoy those comments. So let's take a look at what we've been talking about the past month. So there's been a few things that have been affecting the stocks that's been making it volatile. Now, not only this stock, but almost every single growth stock that's very popular has been being affected in the chart. So it's the first thing you're going to always think about is going to be inflation. So that's going to be the fear of inflation or the fear of hyperinflation. You've been seeing it through many people talk about it when it comes to the commodities. Yes, it is increasing. I mean, you hear about lumber, you hear about bread. I mean, it's all over the place, the increases. Nobody wants to buy the material. They don't want to build their house or whatever the case is due to the high prices, which is understandable. Now, I do think this is going to be short term and we are going through this correction, but I don't think it's going to be forever. But there is a fear of that. Then you've got the taxes, which we talked about. Now, that just happened here recently. So even though the retail investors might have sold off for the first time, they're going to get back into the market. Now, the other thing is, even though there has been these sell-offs, the other thing, which is going to be the major reason as to why the charts have been affected, is going to be the hedge funds, which we all know, we understand they've got the pressure, they've got the stress, and they have to make a profit quarter after quarter. Just like how this stock had their first quarter 2021 financial results, so did these hedge funds. So you've got still a lot of shorts that are taking place. There's a lot of sell-offs that are taking place, and they're trying to slowly creep back in to buy the stocks at a lot lower price, which is understandable, but that's what's been happening. So unfortunately, we have to keep that in mind. Now, if you're trying to hold this stock long term, leave a comment down below. I really am curious. I mean, personally, that's what I've been doing, and so we've been holding it out. I've been seeing a lot of red, not only for this stock, but a lot of other stocks that I personally own. It is a little frustrating, and I understand there can be a lot of emotions tied to this, but you just got to be able to just hunker down, stay positive, and just know that this is not going to last forever. Now, looking at the stocks, you can see, let's start with April the 22nd. We had a red day. It closed lower than what we opened up at, and then slowly you could see that we had a lot more support on the 27th. So within those 5 days, we had a major growth, which was great. Now, if we actually look at some of the notes, what was taking place during that time, you've got the biggest moves from that day. They've got Bionano. Their shares are trading high, continued strength, followed by the publication of the DNA replication data, which was on that Friday. So you have these slow catalysts that are providing support. And so on that day, on the 27th, we had 39 million when it comes to the volume. So let's fast forward to where we're at today. Now, if you actually fast forward, just yesterday, we had a volume of 30 million. So that's 9 million less. So we didn't have as many sells or buys. So maybe more individuals are actually holding on to the stock. And then you've got today. So we actually had a wick below and above the candlestick, so which is great. And we actually had a higher volume, which is 103 million. So with the catalyst, that's going to be what we've been talking about, which is going to be the financial results. Those key point indicators are massive, and they're a big deal. And so as you can see, it shows the results on the chart. Now we just need to continue that and follow up. That way we can slowly have an upward trend. So we might have to see how it goes, but still, again, I'm stressing Q3 and Q4. Now, we did open up at $5.27, and we had a high of $5.58. Now, there was a low of $4.99, just shy of $5. But even though we can see that, we know for sure that it's $5.40. So for me, by the end of Q3, Q4, I'm still looking at above $6. And I think that's above $6 minimum. I think we can push to $7 or even $8. I would say $7.30. And depending on what kind of catalyst we get when it comes to all these companies buying more of the Sapphire system, the software, and just improving the interface efficiency, I think we're going to continue to get a higher catalyst where we can even maybe break 10. So I'm super excited. I can't wait. Leave a comment down below on what your thoughts are, if you own the stock again, or if you sold and you're trying to buy into it and you're buying it, or are you averaging down? So thank you so much for listening to this video. I really do appreciate it, and welcome to the Ticker family.